Welcome my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated, and this is a look at the demo for Moonsigil Atlas, a deck builder, roguelike, with a twist, from Snake Tower Games. And I always like to see deck builders that innovate on the core mechanics, that try to do something different. And what this game does different is that there is no energy system. So the easiest way to explain that is to start a new run. In the demo, you will start with Feldrin, you can unlock Eladra, and presumably then in the full game there will also be access to a third character. Now I'm going to stick with Feldrin, the Lost Chronicler. They have what is effectively their hit points, so 55 hit points, 57 for Eladra. They can draw cards, multiply damage, and we can see here what a card actually looks like. And a card is made up of tiles. Each of these triangles is a tile. This is a ruin, and you can see that the ruin applies 4 shield to this ruin's region on play. And then we have Dissipate, which will allow us to remove a non-hostile sigil from the board. And you can see there is no energy or mana cost. I'm going to start a run. We're going to get a bit of a story. I will keep bringing you back time and time again until the Titans are no more. Do not fail me, young one. Feldrin's not the youngest. So we have our path through the act, and it's a 3-act structure. So there at the end is the Astral Titan that we must defeat. And we start with a combat. We have the ability to remove a tile from one of our cards. We'll see why that might be important now in a second. And we have another combat. I'm going in that direction. We'll start with this combat. So here is our 55 health, effectively in the middle. Here is our board. And we can continue. So here is Starfall. And we can continue. I'm going to right-click, which is kind of a blueprint mode. So I haven't actually played it. It's now on the board. And what would happen if I was to play this is, here is our ruin, and it is inside the region of the moon, the board, adjacent to the Ruin Guard Fledgling, which means that this ruin, the apply 4 shield, will be applied to here. So it's possible that you could have multiple enemies. Now if I take this up again, press E to rotate. Now the ruin is outside of that region. So there is a region dedicated to the enemies that appear on the field. So I think that would be a good place to place that. So we're going to need to place these efficiently and effectively. This bolt deals 4 damage, so I'm going to right click just to place that there. We have a ward. And quite often these are the only ways of getting shields. What a convoluted and clampersome shape it is. If only we could trim it a bit. If only we could get rid of some of those tiles. And indeed we can. So that's what the next station, or the next area that I'm going to visit, is going to do. It will allow us to pick a card and actually get rid of a tile. There's also the ability to add attack ruins and shield ruins. So you can take these cards and change them in a variety of different ways. So here, this is my hand, and I can continue playing cards for as long as I have free tiles on the board. There's a lot of different words being thrown around. So let's see what else we can do. What other damage in Bedlam? So he's attacking, this guy is attacking for 3, and then he's casting. This enemy is planning to place a hostile sigil on your board 3 times. This dude is going to mess with my play area. You divil. Now what can I do? So we don't need to apply any more wards. This is a really interesting mechanic. I really like this one. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this one down. So we have our 4 shield. Up came fully blocked. I'm going to place this down. I can now place Dissipate. We'll nestle him in here in the corner. So I can actually select one of the already existing friendly ruins, not a hostile one, or the shapes, to remove. And doesn't really do anything. you can see that the healing, or I should say the shield, remains. So even though I removed that shape, its benefits still remained on the field. Doesn't make a difference. We'll put down that shape and end the turn. Nothing else I can really do at the moment. So he attacked my shield, failed in typical fashion. All of the shield goes away. And now we're left with a hostile shape on the field that is going to persist for another turn. So it's here now blocking me, and it's going to be there for another turn. There's a variety of different shapes that the enemies can throw down. So at the moment, as you can see, I cannot overlap this shape. Sometimes you can, and it will weaken your ability, so it might decay your attack or something like that. There's a substantial amount of damage coming in, so I can place that there, place that there, and we do actually have an ability to throw in some simple bolts. So because these persisted, they're still on the field. He's hitting for a basic 3, and another 3 are going to go on to the field. I don't think we need to worry. Do we? No, I don't think so. Get that around to there, and get you in there. And I thought that would be enough. I can't add. I can't do numbers. Well, thankfully, we're in a position to get rid of you and drop that ward in there. Oh, we actually already had full shield. I thought my numbers would add up. So in come another 3 shapes in weird places. And that should do it. There we go. So we can now pick a new card. Thunderbolt. Hell's bells. Look at the size of that thing. Trying to get that down on the table with hostile pieces on the table already or on the board, and with items that you've already placed. But there's a refresh. Discard your hand and then draw that many cards. So that is the same shape as the one that allows you to remove the dissipate. Ah, but it's upside down. It's upside down. Deal 10, and then we can infuse each bolt in your hand. Draw pile and discard pile with focus 2. So focus 2, all damage dealt by this card is increased by X. So if we play this, it will give a bonus effect to a card for the rest of the encounter. So every time we play this, the bolts, our basic attacks, will gain 2 damage. And then fortify, apply Force Shield to this rune's region on play, and draw 2 cards. I do know that it's going to get very tough to actually place that down unless we can get rid of some parts to it, which is exactly where we're going. We'll take the Thunderbolt. We will go to Sigil Forging Removal. Harvest the Light. Select the card that I just picked. And here we have a kind of a blueprint of it, and we can select wherever we want to. I'm going to get rid of you. And confirm. So this is, in Slay the Spire terms, basically decreasing the mana cost of a card. Or the energy cost. So we confirm. Now we're on to card removal. So I don't want to remove any of those bolts now. I could maybe get rid of a ward. Even though we have 2 effectively expensive cards. Now we can see that we have a diamond up here, which I believe would indicate from that modification. So I don't know if I tried putting a ruin onto this now. So we'll say an attack ruin or a shield ruin, like the ruin here. Would that count as a second modification? Is there anything I want to get rid of? You see, I do like having that 4 shield. And it deals 7 damage. But this deals 10 damage and makes all the bolts more powerful. Do you know what? Starfall. I haven't actually selected. We'll offer a card and we will get rid of Starfall. That might have been a terrible idea. We will see in a moment. So we have Ravening Void Fang. 3 damage, and he's going causing a big old heap of damage. And what do we have on the entire board already? Overlapping sigils apply 1 stack of strength to all enemies. And it is a ghost, so by clicking on it, other sigils can be placed over this one, clearing any covered tiles. Now, I don't know, does that mean that if I cover all the tiles, that this will go away? There are kind of hostile cards like that. Let's see. Right, what we can do, where we can start. I can put this anywhere. Now, by playing this, I'm making the devil stronger. I'm just trying to see. I imagine you're going to become an expert in geometry after playing this for a while. No, that is not. I think that's the best way to place it. So all of our cards have gotten stronger. We are also making the enemy stronger. I'm not going to be able to play all of them. I am going to be able to play all of them. Well, when I say all of them, I mean the... Am I right? Or am I seeing things? I'm right. Okay, so we've made him a good bit stronger. And he now attacks the center, and he puts out his ghost again. You devil! And he's going to buff himself. Oh, you devil. Now we get all these wards when I don't need them. That's great. So no point playing anything else. And thankfully, his ghost ability is gone. I think we're going to be 1 point short. So, is there any point in putting down too many? Oh, we're not, because once I play this, it makes our 2 bolts stronger again. When they were worth 6 points, I would have been 1 point short. I would have dealt 22 damage to his 23. So moderation, start, turn start. So there are a lot of different phases. So this is on play. This is, this then affects adjacent sigils. Temporarily gain bolster 4 shield runes on this card. Reduce enemy attacks by an additional X damage. So you place this thing on the table, on the board at the very start of your turn, and then try and fit things in around it. And any of them that have shield runes are going to basically gain additional block. Core Limbs Verse activate the turn start effect of all non-hostile sigils in play when you play it. So put down Moderation, then put this down, and then get the draw card. So this is a persist. So when you play this, it's going to stay on the board for 2 turns. I'm probably going to take it, because it's small, it's cheap. We have card removal, we have an elite combat, we have sigil removal. Here is one that would add a shield ruin to one of your cards, so we could add it to one of the ones that already has a shield ruin to make it more powerful, or we could add it to something that we're playing constantly. So one way or another, we have another combat. Twisted Archivist. Devil. Now, let's see. So we have to play this here. This will add 4 shield. I put it here. It will give me no shield. So I'm just trying to see where is a good idea. Sure, we'll put you there. We'll put you there, because you're in an awkward position. Might have messed up ever so slightly. No. So used up everything, and turn ends. So this persists, and there we go. We've drawn an extra card because of that. Now he's hitting me for 11. This is persisting on the field, so I can place that there. I can put this down. I want to leave this area clear for that ward. So if I was to place him there, then place that there, what would then happen is I could use this one to get rid of him and put in the 2 bolts. So, place the ward, get rid of that, and we have max damage, and we're going to take a small bit of damage. I do like the animation on how the damage is dealt. It said 11, it hit this, reduced to 3, and then kind of slid in and hit our health in the middle. Hostile, eternal. And it's a ghost. Overlapping sigils, discard a card. So if we place anything on top of this, we're going to have to discard a card. Now, if I click on him, he's eternal. Sigil is not removed from your board at the end of turn, but what we can do, or what we have to do, is place things on top of it. He's hitting me for 10. So I'd rather not have to place a ton of stuff. Is there any way? No. Is there any way I can place? It doesn't look like it. You devil, you chose this shape intentionally. What am I going to get rid of? I think I'm going to have to get rid of the moderation. So I place this. It has increased my bolt, and I'm going to have to get rid of the moderation. I suppose I could have survived the turn without doing that. My major issue now, I'm going to have to put him there. Discard the bolt. Place this to get rid of this big shape, and stick down the ward to try and get some more defense. So we can see that that ghost sigil, or that ghost card, is gone. So our area is freed up again. I can deal 20-something damage. Be gone. But Meteor Storm. Turn start, deal 2x2 damage to all enemies. Turn start, temporarily gain focus. So it's an awkward one. Be a great one to get rid of a shape. Stony Vault, exhaust this card. Add a copy of Gravel to your hand. So Gravel deals 2 damage and exhausts this card. So this is eternal. It will stay on the board wherever you place it. It'll stay on the board. It takes up that spot, and every turn it generates a Gravel card. I'm going to take this one, because I haven't taken this one before. So I said we were going for the Sigil Forging removal. Now we have a lot of cards that I would like to remove something from, so we can't remove the moderation entirely and make it free. I think if this thing comes out, I'm playing it. Which one do we go for? Decisions, this one. If that thing comes out, I'm playing it. So making it as cheap as possible. is a good idea. Star Courser, I hardly know her, and Ruin Guard Fledgling. And as we can see, we now have the field is split up, or the board is split up into two areas. Ruins in this area will defend against the Ruin Guard Fledgling, the shield ruins, and ones over here will defend against the Star Courser. And if I was to put down a bolt here, it would ask me who I want to target. I'd have the option of targeting, but the actual shield ruins will only apply in the area that they are in, and it's the same if there were attack ruins, if there were ruins which dealt damage independently of the actual play mechanic. So what do we want to do? I suppose it's just going to be a simple, says he. If I place that there, I'm trying to minimize wasted area. If I place you there, and then we place you over here. Now, who do we want to focus on? Well, it doesn't make a difference. I can't. I suppose as you are the lowest HP, we will try to get rid of you first. So this guy's going to get stronger, and this guy is going to mess up my life. Devilment. So it has no effect. He's hitting me for 7. This guy's hitting me for 10. Now, it doesn't make a difference, because there's not much I can do over here. That's basically all the security I can get. If I place that there, we can throw you up there. And we can choose an enemy, deal 10 damage again. I think if we can get rid of you, if things go well, we might be able to get rid of you in the next turn. Then again, we have the Star Courser on the left, getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and dealing big damage. I wonder, was it a good idea to focus on the Star Courser? So, what happened there was our meteorite dealt damage to both enemies. So it will deal enough damage without me doing anything to kill the Ruin Guard Fledgling at the end of the next turn. However, because it happens at turn start, he'll get these down first of all. So I think I'm going to have to kill him. I think I'm going to have to waste a card trying to kill him. Divil of the highest degree. If I place that there, then I cannot do the 6 damage, which I would like to do. Divils. Decisions, so I can only put in 1 bolt. Now would be a great time if we had the card that removed something. I'm going to have to put this here to get rid of that Ruin Guard. And there we go, we're taking hefty damage. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. 27 damage. And now I could do with that one. That would have given me the big defenses. If I place this here, if I place that there, what I want to try and do is get that other one down. No. Because somebody, I don't want to mention names, but somebody placed two things over here. I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking. I'm not using the heart of the whatever this is. Use you to get rid of that. Put you there. Fully blocked. Those three numbers put together seem to be larger than 27. I'm not too sure how that works. Where do I want to put... We'll throw you over here. Okay, that's interesting. So, if we can get this number up to 9, none of the attacks get through. But if we put this to 8, then 1 point from here will get through and the other 2. That is something I didn't fully notice until now. I did see something where I was convinced I was going to get wiped out. I was blocking one of the attacks. So the attacks aren't totally independent of each other. That's an interesting mechanic. Now, we're screwed here because we don't have a huge amount of health. If we can play all of these. Now there's just a kind of a little outline around them. So it does kind of show you, it can be, sometimes it can be hard to kind of, wait, which cards have I put down here already? And of course by hovering over them it doesn't actually tell me which one is which. All we can do is pray. There we go. Height of Devilment. We have a Fortify. Apply 4 shield to this ruins region on play. And draw 2 cards. Mirror's Prophecy, I think I had this one. Deal 2 damage for each card drawn this turn. That can be very helpful, especially with the next card, See Beyond, which I quite like. But you can see the size of it. It's taken up the entire bottom of the moon board shape. Because it infuses a card with Focus 2. There's a couple of big cards that you can play that with. I do have a single triangle shape at the moment that's generating a lot of... Well, it's not generating a lot of cards for me. Draw a card. So it would deal hand size +1, sometimes. Deal 2 damage for each card drawn this turn. It is a pretty hefty shape. Go on, we'll take it. I think we're one turn away from a card pack selection, and I hope we get there, because the card packs are hilarious. So this is, again, a different type of card. It's a different color, it's green, and it applies Decay 5 to overlapping cards. All damage dealt by this card is reduced by X. So if I place a damage card on top of this shape, it's going to decrease the damage by 5. Thanks. Thanks, Ghost. Thanks. Dead Star Corruptor. I hardly know her. So there's our draw card. I'll put you up there in what I hope is out of the way. Oh, and he's gonna mess things up. Oh, Divil. Divil, and he's gonna mess things up again on the next turn. If I can just keep putting these things down. Now, it's going to decay 2, so here is our... This is going to deal a total of 12 damage. if I can put it down somewhere. Because we drew, what, 5 cards and then 1 for this. So this is the Mirror's Prophecy. And I can get 2 bolts off. Or I could... So this will deal 8. So we're actually having to basically dump everything on top of these 2 ghost things. There's nowhere I can play... Yeah, no. It's covering everywhere. So that's increasing our bolts, which is a good idea. This is going to deal 10 damage. And then our newly upgraded bolt is going to deal a bit more. And then our meteorite is going to deal some damage. 16, you devil. I can deal 12. I can deal 12. And I can defend 12. So now would be a great time if we... Well, I don't know if I can actually defend 12. It depends if I can mash all the ruins into the one area. Now would be a great time to have some attack ruins on these wards. So if I place you there... I think that'd be a good place to put you. I think I'm going to have to just spend the entire turn defending. I could move this down here and put the bolt here, but it doesn't really make much of a difference because it's going to be decay 5, and these are worth 6. If I get to a stage where I needed 1 more point to kill this guy, it'll serve me right. I'm not too sure what has and hasn't been committed. You? No, you're actually already there. You. Okay, so we're going to take some damage. We do have a place that we can heal if we make it just before the final boss. So we need to deal 4 damage. Way out of it. Veni, I do not remember my true name, transform this card into Vidi. And once we play it, we transform it into Vici. What does Vici do? Who knows? Who knows? Exhaust a card in your hand. Exhaust this card. Temporarily gain Focus 5. So exhausted are removed for the rest of the encounter. So we'd be giving up something to basically increase a card by 5 damage. And we have another Mirror's Prophecy. Do you know what? Go on. Go on. We'll take this joke of nothing. Card pack. The art on these. Absolutely fantastic. I want booster boxes of physical versions of these in foil. I'll open them all on stream. Look at this. It's just an old dude with a triangle. So, random cards. These ones will, I think, help us draw more cards, and these ones will have effect on turn start. So they're going to be cards that will remain on the table, or they're going to be shapes that remain on the board. Do you know, I might go for the random. Oh, there's See Beyond. Deal 7 to all enemies on turn start for 2 turns. Yes, please. Deal 4 twice and draw a card. But look how awkward it is. Then again, I do have... That's too awkward. We can... Where's it got to? I believe we can see the board shape. Because I'm trying to remember what the actual oh, this is what the bottom of the board would look like. So if we were to take this, I would need, yeah, we're kind of taking up a good chunk of the board. Then again, unless we can get rid of it, and we're drawing a card which would make Miri's prophecy a bit more powerful. Go on, Twin Flame. Let's see how badly we mess up this thing. I usually have to go and heal. We could go for card removal. We're going to have to heal. We gain 25. We're back up to full health. And we're in against the Astral Titan. This devil. Mooncaller. I hardly know her. Well, this is simple enough. It's just a single villain. It's just a single dude. He's a lot of hit points, sure, but it's just a single dude. What could possibly go wrong? Vinny. Not too sure am I going to regret this. Okay. We could put this down. Not much of a point. What's he going to do with his moon? Oh no. The Moon of Ireland and the Moon of Wrath. That is fantastic though, that they actually came onto the board before our meteorite. Now, what's he going to do? He has summoned living moons. Oh yeah. Well, we better take a look at the moons first of all. So Ireland. The boss takes 25% less damage from direct attacks while this thing remains in play. So 25% less from direct attacks, 25% less from direct attacks. And on turn start, apply 1 stack of strength to the boss and apply 3 stacks of strength to the boss. So at the start of every turn, the boss is going to get 4 strength stronger, and my direct attacks against him deal 50% less damage. That's not great. Now these guys won't attack us. They just sit here being stupid. They just sit here being stupid. We'll get rid of you. We're maxing our defense, which doesn't do great. Now, what do we want to do? We could try and take out the Ire, but he's dealing 1 stack of strength, or we could focus on taking out this guy who's adding 3 stacks of strength, but he has almost double the hit points. I think I'm going to go for him. So we'll take some damage. He messes up the field, and everyone gets a bit of a baiting. He's put a big letter A on the field. If we do not cover this thing in its entirety, the moon will lose 15 integrity at the end of the turn. That means I lose 15 HP. That's what that means. Here is... What a time for you to arrive. Actually, what a time for you to arrive. So this is where we start with the right clicks. To drop you there. Oh no. Drop you there. Miri's prophecy can go here. And actually moderation will go there. Now the only problem is that... Is there any way of tidying this up? No is the short answer. Is there any way of tidying this up the way that I could drop a bolt? I don't believe so. So if we... Actually, if we moderate first of all, it does nothing because it's on turn start. Not play, turn start. I can read... But at least it covers that thing up. We'll play you, deal 4x2 damage. Okay, we draw a card. I'm just trying to see what I can do. Hit you for 10, they go up to 6, and that deals 12. Okay, so he's gone, and I forgot to mention, that actually remains on the field. Can I use it straight away? I can! So this now becomes a new part of the playing field. That's also part of the playing field. Exhaust this card, I'll put you there. And that's also turn start. So that's kind of... I should have probably put it there, because we're kind of creating a lot of awkward little areas where I can't do anything. And end the turn. So we've now converted the dead body of the Moon of Wrath into a field that we can cause Bedlam and Anarchy on. Every one of these that remains on the field is going to deal 4 damage if we don't do something about it. If I play you, you just go away again, don't you? No, it's not going to be in my card collection, it's going to be in the discard pile. Vici, oh hell's bells, deal 50 damage to all... Ah, so that's what... Okay. Hello. Right. Now, it's coming at me for 12, and I don't have the defenses to deal with that. So this is another on turn start. Oh, hell. We can sneak this guy in here. And then the only thing that I have left is this ward. I think we're going to take an absolutely cruel amount of damage. Do I have a second ward? I do, so I didn't notice that. Ooh, if I put this up here instead. Devil. There's no real point in actually playing this Dissipate. I'm just putting it in there to get rid of this thing. And we can target somebody. I suppose I'll have to, with the two of them, to take this guy out. Thank you very much. I won't say no. That's probably causing some problems. I can get rid of this. Oh no, hold on. Cancel. Should have played that first. Should have played that. Now we get rid of you. I'd convinced myself I had an extra one. I convinced myself I had an extra one. I didn't have an extra one. We're going to take... what am I going to take? 16? So that does 4, and that does 4. That's a very interesting way of dealing with damage. So the shield remains against all incoming attacks. So I only took 8 damage there. That is a very interesting way of dealing with the whole thing. I am going to make absolute shit of the Mooncaller. I'm going to make absolute hames of him. Oh my god, I have so many things. I have so many things. Yeah, what does this do again? I can't even... Why can't I hold all these cards? I think we're just going to start with Vici. We will dissipate. That was a nice chunk of damage. To get rid of that, because it's taken up far too much space, we will put down this Meteor Storm, which is one of my favorites. We will... Twin Flare. Now, he's not attacking this turn, so we can do a good chunk of damage to the Devil. Can we? Oh, it won't go anywhere. So that one will go there. Ooh, that's all I can do. Who messed up this board with all these weird triangles everywhere? Guys, come on. Who's messing with my board? And that, I believe, is it. Down to 58. That was a nice... That was a nice chunk of damage. Now he's coming in for 19. He's coming in for 19. We actually have this thing back? Really? I thought it would be a one and done. If this wasn't here... God damn you. If this wasn't here, I don't know if I can remove. Let's see. Because if I can remove one of those... Nope. I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit overexcited there. What'll that do? Deal 2 damage. Okay, yeah, you're gone. Get out of it! So that is the end of Act 1. The Astral Titan has been kicked up the Astral. And we have some very fancy cards. I thought that 50 attack would be a one and done, but then again, like, you have to play the card, then play the card again. So, unless you're... If you're very lucky, you could get it on the first hand. And if you have a very small discard pile, play it and then get it back on the second hand. That was a really cool card. I like that one. Now, what do we have here? Exhaust this card, and then on turn start, apply 2 stacks of Exposed to the enemy with the most remaining health. So they take 1 more damage from all sources. Now, there's one card I really like, which is on turn start, deal 10 damage to the character, or to the creature with the lowest health. Exhaust, the first sigil you play each turn is immediately removed from the board. And that'd be another interesting one to cut a triangle off of. Deal 5 damage for each sigil played this turn, including this one. Fantastic, but look at the gatch of it. Look at it. I mean, look at it. Big head. Thick thighs. No, go way out of that. Clarity. I'll take Clarity. And it's an Eternal card. So here's the boss. He's back. You have slain the first of the Astral Titans. No small feat, but the remaining 2 are even more formidable. Slay the others, free me, and I'll return the universe to peace and righteousness. At last. So it's a 3-act structure, the 3 Astral Titans, and then I'm sure that this guy is going to be perfectly nice to deal with afterwards. I'm sure we're not going to have to fight this guy. I'm wondering if there's something like the heart in Slay the Spire. So they've set off a ton of lava. I've never defeated the heart. That is something I have to do at some stage. I've never made a serious effort to try and defeat the heart. So that is something I have to do. And I've only unlocked all the decks in Balatro of recent. This is a really interesting mechanic. It's a really interesting system. I really like what they've done with the energy system. So we're at the end of the demo. It's telling us additional acts, bosses, enemies, encounters, upgrades, and more await in the full game. There is a worry that a deck builder is going to do something different just to be different. It's going to try and do something just, we have to try and differentiate ourselves from everyone else somehow. This is a really unique and novel innovation on the deck builder genre. I really like this. I really like where this is going. I had tremendous fun with the demo. This is the second time I've beaten the Astral Titan. I don't know, is it my third or fourth run? I haven't tried the other character yet. I'm going to try them at some stage. But really looking forward to where this goes on launch. So at the moment, I think there's a 2025 is down as the launch date. So hopefully we're going to see this sometime this year. There's more to discover in the demo. So presumably, is it Eladra? If we can finish the game with them. Oh no, the third character isn't unlocked at all. But I'm going to take a look at Eladra at some stage, maybe over on Twitch, to see what their playstyle is like. So we have more cards, more enemies, 3 playable characters, 3 acts of content, and unlockable difficulty levels. There you go. That has been Moonsigil Atlas. I'm really looking forward to this. I really like the system that they have in place here. I really like the innovation on the energy system. It's the first time that I've seen an innovation on the energy system. Am I just old and out of step and not paying attention to what's going on in the world? Has there been other evolutions on the energy system? If they have, please post them below, because I'd like to check them out. What do you think of this game? Are you going to keep an eye on it? Are you going to try and kick the Astral Titan up the Astral as well? There's a demo out at the moment. I'll put a link below in the description. Go and check that out. But yeah, that has been Moonsigil Atlas. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again in future.